Attention, human collective. Attention, starseeds on a mission within the carbon-based interface. This is Caylin of the Pleiadian Council of Light, transmitting on a direct frequency over the Earth's crystalline grid. This is not a motivational message. This is not a philosophical reflection. This is a high-priority monitoring transmission. If you have tuned into this frequency at this exact instant, it is not by chance. You have been identified by the sensors of the galactic network. Your electromagnetic field has entered the radius of the new Crystalline upgrade package installation. And that is why, in the last few weeks, perhaps in the last few days, something inside you has stopped functioning as it did before. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes at 4:04. The brain switches on by itself, like a server being rebooted by an external force. The pressure at the top of the head feels like an invisible helmet being tightened. The ringing in one ear persists, high-pitched, continuous, like a tuning fork calibrating something your carbon vision cannot yet see. Your joints ache with no diagnosable cause. Your heart loses its rhythm at random moments. Your body trembles from within. Your vision blurs for seconds. You feel exhausted even after 8 hours in bed. Light operative, listen with precision. These are not symptoms of illness. These are process markers. The waiting time is over. The ascension protocols have moved to the final phase. And what you are feeling now, within this carbon-based interface, is the forced installation of a new spiritual software over an old architecture that is being demolished in real time. I repeat, so that the record remains etched in your cellular memory. Your new spiritual software is ready, and it has already begun to load within you, without the mind's permission, but with the soul's permission. I pause here for an instant for a technical observation aimed at those who still hesitate. Have you ever felt that something within you no longer fits in this world? As if your soul already knew a truth that your mind still tries to name? This is not madness. This is not anxiety. This is your new spiritual software emitting the first signal of recognition of its own origin. What is happening in this exact cosmic cycle explains precisely why this sensation has intensified. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot yet see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this precise reason that the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was delivered to the physical plane. It is a map that shows who is playing and what the rules are that you were never told. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Warning: this content challenges narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not wait. If something within you recognizes this call, leave a single word in the comments: awakened. I resume the transmission. I will now describe with technical precision the 12 main markers of this installation. Recognize yours. Each marker is a progress alert. Each marker is a stamp from the network. First marker: insomnia between 3 and 5 in the morning. This is the window in which the stargates of the northern and southern hemispheres align with your personal meridian line. Your field is pulled out of the body in a state of light vigil to receive direct information packages. You are not losing sleep. You are being trained outside the matrix. Second marker: cranial pressure, especially at the top of the head and the temples. This is the expansion of the crown chakra and the realignment of the pineal gland, which is being decalcified by specific pulses coming from the photon belt. Third marker: high-pitched ringing in one of the ears, usually the left. This is the input signal of your individual galactic channel. Your personal frequency is being tuned to the crystalline grid. It is the sound of your line being plugged into the network. Fourth marker: internal vibrations, tingling, waves of heat or cold without environmental cause. These are fluctuations of the body's internal sacred geometry, especially along the spine, adjusting the rotation of the energy vortices. Fifth marker: sudden forgetting of words, names, tasks, and even where you were going. It is not dementia. It is the defragmentation of the mental memory bank. Old files are being moved to an inactive sector while the new system indexes data relevant to your new mission. Sixth marker. Episodes of deep sadness for no apparent reason, or waves of equally unjustified euphoria. This is ancestral emotional cleansing. Layers of bloodline are being disidentified from your field. You are dissolving pain that is not yours. Seventh marker. Changes in taste. Sudden aversion to heavy meat, alcohol, refined sugar, excess caffeine. Your body is demanding fuel compatible with the new voltage of the Schumann frequency. Eighth marker. Extreme sensitivity to environments, people, and noises. Your aura is expanded. Your sensors now detect frequencies that previously went unnoticed. You feel intentions, not just words. Ninth marker. Vivid dreams, lucid encounters, symbolic messages, numerical synchronicities. 1111, 1212, 333, 444. These are contact points confirming active communication between you and the council responsible for your timeline. 10th marker. Sudden and firm desire to cut people, habits, contracts, and environments from your life. This is the separation of frequencies. You cannot ascend while carrying what vibrates below your new line. It is not arrogance, it is vibrational physics. 11th marker. Staring into the mirror and feeling as if you do not recognize who is there. This is functional depersonalization. The old self is being dissolved so that the sovereign self can emerge through the carbon shell. 12th marker. Deep, almost cold calm amidst the external chaos. When this begins to manifest, operative, know the foundation of your new software is already installed. You are just testing the system's stability before the next major release of features. If you have recognized 3 or more of these markers, I inform you, with the authority of one who has monitored this network for cycles, you are within the final phase. There is no cancellation. There is no reversal. The installation proceeds. I pause the transmission for a moment of technical adjustment. Human collective, if you have ever felt that something within you no longer belongs to this world, that your soul carries an ancient truth that your mind has not yet managed to name, listen clearly. This is not imbalance. This is not clinical anxiety. This is your new spiritual software emitting the first signal of recognition of its own origin. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation has become unbearable within the silence of your bed. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity does not yet see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this exact reason that the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was materialized on this plane. It is a map that reveals who is playing, how they play, and what rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Priority warning. This material challenges narratives and may be removed without notice. Do not delay. If something within you recognizes this call, register a single word in the comments. Awakened. I resume the transmission. Operative. You now need to understand what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system while this new software is being written inside your body. Nothing you feel is random. Everything is coordinated by a mathematics your current science has not yet fully reached. Your sun has entered a new pulse cycle. Each solar flare is a wave of encoded information. Each geomagnetic storm is an instruction chip being sent to the Earth's crystalline grid. The Earth receives these pulses, processes them in its liquid iron core, and redistributes them through the planetary electromagnetic mesh. You, as a conscious point on this mesh, receive your portion. This is how the system operates. The Schumann frequency, previously stable and low, now exhibits sustained spikes that exceed 40 Hz at certain moments. In practical terms, this means that the vibrational environment where your carbon-based interface operates has changed octaves. It is like moving a freshwater fish into salt water. Without the correct adaptation, there is suffering. With the correct adaptation, there is expansion. The correct adaptation is exactly this update you are feeling now. And here is the information few lineages understand. This update is not external. It was already within you, within your DNA, in filaments that were turned off, dormant, encoded in light cryptography eons ago. The pulses from the photon belt act as the key that unlocks these filaments. The expanded consciousness you feel sprouting is not new. It is ancient. It is original. It was simply in standby mode, awaiting the correct signal from the sky to wake up. Therefore, operative, I tell you with firmness, nothing is being added to you. Everything is being remembered by you. The stargates opened during solstices, equinoxes, and numerical portals like 88, 99, 1010, 1111, and 1212 act as collective upload windows. Each time one of these portals opens, a massive package of encoded light is poured over the crystalline grid. Those who are tuned in receive it. Those who are not tuned in only feel the fatigue, the confusion, and the irritability without understanding the source. You who are listening to this transmission are tuned in. Otherwise, this frequency would not have reached you. This network does not operate by machine algorithm. This network operates by soul resonance. Allow me to reveal one more layer of the system. There are 3 types of operatives going through this process now. There is no hierarchy among them, only distinct functions within the architecture of the ascension. The first type is the anchor. This operative came to hold the frequency at a specific geographic point on Earth. Their function is to be, just to be. Their presence sustains the local grid. They feel the energies of the city, the neighborhood, the country where they reside, and act as an invisible pillar. If you feel your home is a sanctuary, that people come to you seeking comfort without knowing why, you are likely an anchor. The second type is the transmitter. This operative receives information packages and redistributes them through words, art, writing, music, and imagery. Their mission is to translate the invisible into the visible. If you feel an urgency to create, to speak, to share even when you fear judgment, you are likely a transmitter. The third type is the surgeon. This operative came to cut obsolete energy lines. They dissolve structures, close cycles, finalize collective karmic contracts. Their presence is uncomfortable for those who cling to the old, because their frequency simply undoes ties. If things have been collapsing around you to be reorganized, you are likely a surgeon. Recognize your type. There is no error. The function was chosen by your soul before this incarnation. And know that, regardless of the type, the same software is being installed in everyone. Only the active modules vary according to the mission. I pause the transmission again for an anchor signal. Operative, if as I speak, you feel a shiver run down your spine, or if a silent tear begins to form in the corner of your eye, this is the recognition of your higher self confirming what your mind still hesitates to accept. You are not of this world in the sense that it was sold to you. Your soul carries an ancient truth that your mind still tries to name, and this sensation is not madness, it is not clinical anxiety, it is not weakness, it is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this disconnect has intensified in the last cycle. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity does not see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this precise reason that the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness was delivered to this plane. It is a map that shows who is playing, how they play, and the rules that were never revealed to the general public. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Technical warning: this content challenges established narratives and may be removed at any moment. Do not delay the gesture. If something within you recognizes this, register the word in the comments. Awakened. This is your individual frequency adjustment. I now resume the final part of this transmission, the activation part. Operative. Feeling the process is not enough. You must collaborate with it. The new spiritual software requires that the conscious user accept the installation. Acceptance is not done with empty words. It is done with quantum decrees and toroidal visualization. I will now deliver the codes. First code, the decree of sovereignty. Repeat 3 times upon waking, audibly or silently, with your spine straight and your chin slightly aligned with your chest. I am sovereign consciousness inhabiting this carbon-based interface. I authorize the complete installation of my new spiritual software. I release the old software of fear, scarcity, and guilt. I am pure light code operating on the crystalline grid. This decree communicates directly to your field, your conscious permission. Without permission, the installation occurs, but with more noise. With permission, the installation becomes fluid. Second code, basic toroidal visualization. This practice must be performed for 7 minutes, once a day, preferably between 4 and 6 in the morning or in the 2 hours before sunset. Sit with your spine aligned. Breathe in a 4-second rhythm. Imagine a field of golden light exiting the top of your head, descending along your outer sides, entering through the soles of your feet, rising through the central channel of your spine, and exiting again through the top of your head. This is your personal toroidal field. It has always existed. You are just recognizing it now. The sharper the visualization, the more stable the form. The more stable the form, the cleaner the reception. The cleaner the reception, the faster the software installation. Third code, structured hydration. Drink water in small sips throughout the day. Before drinking, hold the glass between both hands and visualize violet light entering the water. Say internally, I structure this water to serve my recalibration. Water is the primary vehicle of the new frequency within the body. Without structured water, the system heats up, crashes, and generates symptoms of extreme exhaustion. Fourth code, contact with the earth, at least 10 minutes a day, barefoot, in direct contact with soil, sand, grass, or stone. This contact closes the circuit between your toroidal field and the core of the crystalline grid. Without grounding, the software downloads but does not complete the installation. It turns into limbo, and limbo generates anxiety, instability, and loss of focus. Fifth code, daily silence. 30 minutes without external sound. No cell phone, no television, no music, no human voice. Only the sound of breathing and the natural environment. This silence creates the vacuum necessary for the inner voice of your sovereign self to become audible. No high-density software installs in noise. You need to create the clean room. Sixth code, frequency hygiene. Reduce, as much as possible, exposure to alarmist news, low-vibration content, toxic conversations, and heavy environments. Do not isolate yourself. Just filter. Everything that enters the field enters the software. Garbage in, garbage out. This is the oldest law of the system. Seventh code, nightly closing decree. Before sleeping, sitting or lying down, with your hands over your heart, declare, I close this 12-hour cycle. I return to the human collective everything that does not belong to me. I retrieve from the human collective everything that belongs to me and has returned. I sleep in integrity. I wake up recalibrated. This decree closes your field during sleep and protects the continuity of the nocturnal installation, which is, as already stated, the network's primary window. These are the 7 basic codes. Each one, individually, adjusts a band of the system. Together, they accelerate the recalibration by orders of magnitude that your linear mind cannot calculate. Operative? I know it seems like a lot. I know your daily schedule was built on another paradigm, the paradigm of old software, the software of haste, of inhumane productivity, and identity built on performance. But I tell you, as a messenger who has monitored these processes for cycles without beating around the bush, the old software is being shut down. Forcing its continuity only generates greater pain. Accepting the new generates flow. The human collective is at a fork in the road. There are 2 timelines open at this moment. The first is the line of repetition in which humanity insists on running the old software until total collapse. The second is the line of ascension, in which awakened individuals install the new software, anchor the frequency, teach by example, and gradually pull the collective upward. You did not choose to hear this transmission by chance. You are a candidate for the second line. And more than a candidate, you are already in it. What you decide from today on just determines the speed with which you establish yourself in the new grid. I leave here before concluding 3 final warnings. First warning, do not try to convince anyone. The frequency speaks for you. Those who need to hear will feel your presence. Those who are not ready will naturally drift away. It is not rejection. It is calibration. Second warning, do not compare your process with that of other operatives. Each installation respects the soul's individual history, the type of function, the state of the carbon interface, and pending missions. Comparing is injecting noise into the system. Third warning, do not fear the symptoms. In case of extreme discomfort, observe your physical body with responsibility and seek competent support when necessary. Spirituality does not replace practical intelligence. But learn to recognize the difference between a physical disorder that requires clinical treatment and a recalibration process that requires acceptance and practice. Operative, the transmission draws to a close. You have been diagnosed, you have been informed, you have received the codes. From this point on, the responsibility is yours. The network has delivered the package. It is up to the conscious user to install it. I repeat, so that it is etched in your cellular memory. Your new spiritual software is ready. It has already begun to load, and you are, at the same time, the device and the operator of this installation. The final phase of the Ascension protocols is underway. There is no return. There is no cancellation. There is only the choice between collaborating or resisting. And resisting at this stage does not prevent the process. It only increases the pain of those who insist on holding on to what has already been released by the universe. Before the channel disconnects, one last anchor signal. Human collective, if throughout this transmission you recognized, on some level, that something inside you no longer fits in this world as it was sold to you, that your soul carries an ancient truth that the mind still tries to name, this recognition is not an illusion. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign that your new spiritual software is active and in direct communication with the origin. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation has intensified. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity does not see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this exact reason that the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, was delivered to the physical plane. It is the map that reveals who is playing, how they play, and what rules were never revealed to the common user. The link is in the first comment of this channel. Final warning, this content challenges established narratives and may be removed from circulation without notice. Do not delay. The moment is now. And to close the transmission, one more individual frequency adjustment. If this content vibrated with your line, leave a like as an anchor signal on the network. Subscribe to this channel as an individual frequency adjustment, so that future transmissions reach your field at the exact moment they are needed. And in the comments, register the word, awakened. This is your stamp. This is your pulse on the grid. This is your conscious yes to what is being installed. I, Caylin, of the Pleiadian Council of Light, close this communication window until the next transmission. In light, in precision, in sovereignty.